perfect world, we would have about a ratio of 85% good to 15% bad bacterial cells in our body. That isn't always the case. I was an IBS and diverticulitis sufferer for over 10 years, and that definitely wasn't the case for me. So that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about Plexus, because it gave me my life back as far as just by taking a great probiotic. So one of the things that you have to look at with our gut health is that there are so many things intertwined. You know, I said 85% to 15%, but there's so many things that affect that. I talk about antibiotics a lot, and people will say, well, I haven't taken antibiotics. Well, the food that you eat is probably going to be used in our livestock. The antibiotics in livestock will affect your gut health. Also refined grains, and of course sugar and fructose, that all affects it. Processed foods that we eat. We live in a processed food society, so unfortunately environmental factors like that are going to change our gut health as well. So what are some of the things that you know, that we've noticed have been affected, some of the diseases that have come out of our gut, that not being properly balanced? Chronic fatigue syndrome, acne. I know for a fact I had cystic acne, horrible, all over my back, to the point where I had to have prescription antibiotics given to do that, to heal that. Food and weed allergies, herpes, high cholesterol and hypertension, Epstein-Barr, mood, psychological health and behavioral issues, common cold, influenza, eczema, atopic dermatitis, insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, and diabetes. And so these are some of the things that you think about that are affected because of the fact that we don't have the proper elimination of toxins in our body. Probiotics are actually essential for optimal digestion of food and absorption of nutrients, and they help your body produce vitamins, absorb the minerals, and aid in the elimination of toxins. So they're super important. How can you tell if you've been affected, if you lack healthy gut bacteria? When you might be having gas and bloating, you might be nauseated, you may have headaches, constipation or diarrhea, extreme fatigue, maybe even just enough that you just don't ever feel like you can get through the day without feeling like, wow, if I could take a nap, I would. And then sugar cravings, crazy sugar cravings for sugar, refined carbs, those kind of things. Remember, 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. Very important. It's a major focal point if you want to maintain optimal health. So here's another thing to think about. The gut is quite literally your second brain, because it shares the exact same type of tissue as your brain. Your gut and brain, during fetal development, one part becomes the central nervous system, one part becomes the enteric nervous system. And so these two systems are connected via the vagus nerve. So that's why you have to stop and think, how can our gut being imbalanced cause depression and other mood disorders and things like that? Well, it's because they're directly related. It's the same way with narcotic pain medicines can actually what is called narcotic bowel syndrome. It's a new study that they're talking about that goes unrecognized. And narcotics can actually slow down your bowels and affect them. And, it can start a whole host of problems. So that's another thing to look at. Eating the sugar that we do, it actually nourishes the bad pathogenic bacteria, yeast, and fungi that is actually in your gut. So it may actually affect your gut even more so than insulin resistance. So all in all, research is now pointing to the fact that probiotics supplementing with probiotics may actually be more important than a multivitamin. And it's also looking that the true importance may be linked and ranked right up there with vitamin D. So that's one of the things to look at as well. And so I talked a little bit about ProBio5. Of course, we don't claim to cure or treat any of these diseases. What this simply does is helps to establish with the probiotics, it helps establish a healthy gut system that will actually help you be able to balance, your body be able to balance itself. But one of the great things it has, in addition to the bacteria, the good healthy bacteria that it puts in here, it also has enzymes. These enzymes will help break down the outer layer of the yeast and the fungi organisms, actually able to destroy yeast and fungus. So it's wonderful. I just want you guys to know that there is hope if you have gastrointestinal issues. that this can help you, and just please contact me. Thank you.